Hello and welcome to the practical walkthrough. In this practical, we are going to implement this design, starting with the C# code for the client red, and thereafter we'll head over to the server side to implement the red string PHP and the control server PHP modifications. So fire up your Visual Studio 2022 and open the project itself, which is your red bot project. This was the state of the code from the last time we made modifications to it. Go and download the files that will accompany this lecture. You should have two folders, C# and PHP. So for this code, we need the C#. The commands.txt is the same, so there are no changes to the commands.txt. So we only need the program.txt, which is this code. So just copy everything from this code here and overwrite the programs.txt file, the program.cs file. So the thing that is new here is this part here. This part here, I've added these two extra lines here so that you can send the string back to the server. And we'll have to set the content type as XWW form or encoded because we are going to post this. So the default is to post, and here we are going to post this string. Red string is red string, so this thing is actually posting this back to the, and then here will be a result of execution. So this will be a long string depending on what command you sent. So this is what you'll be sending back to the server, and then on the server side you are going to extract it using the PHP script post. And then here you specify the red string like this, and then you are going to save it to some kind of variable like that. So this part will be what is being sent from here. When you call the upload string function or web client, you are actually sending this red string, this string, and then when the script on the server side receives it, is going to extract it like this. So this part here, red string, is the key used for extraction. So that's all for this part. So now we can save it and then we build it. So let's click on the build. So I'm going to delete the old copy here and then rebuild a new one, and it should appear in the release folder. There you go. So now we have completed the client part. Let's go and do the server part. So I'm using a virtual machine and then htdocs. So the server part, we need to have this thing corresponding to this. You are calling this red string PHP, so you need to implement this red string PHP on the server side. So this red string PHP you can download from the resource section for this lecture. Just open your download, open the resource section and open the PHP folder after unzipping. So the red string PHP is here. So just copy this file and put it in the folder, in the htdocs folder. So what this thing does is to retrieve the red string key, which I've explained just now, and then save it to another variable called red string. And then it will create a file called redstring.txt, opening it with a write permission. If the file doesn't exist, it will be created, and then saving a reference here, fp. And then it will write this red string into the file using the fwrite method. First parameter is a pointer to your file. Second parameter is the variable containing the string that you are going to write into the file. then you write a new line, then you close it. So that implements this part, red string. Next, we are going to look at the control server, which will then have a new button. So for that, go and download this new version of the control server from the resource section for this lecture. Over here, PHP, this is the new version. So copy this and overwrite the one inside your htdocs. So the new version looks like this. So let's check it out what it does before I explain the code. Make sure your Apache is running. I've already started it. Then connect to it, and you will see this new button here, get return string. So this new button is coming from the code over here. I've added this new line. So when you click this button, it will post it to this control server PHP, which is the same file as that which we are calling to display the user interface. And then it will check over here. So this part is also new. It will check whether the button get result is being clicked. Note that I have changed this part here to button execute because we want to differentiate between the top button and the bottom button. So I renamed the top button as button execute and the bottom button as button get result. I also rename it here, button execute for the top button and the button get result for the second button. So these two names here must match with your post over here. Button execute referring to the top button, which is this one. Button get result referring to your second button, which is this one. So when you click on this second button here, it will call this else if statement, this block. It will test whether the button is being clicked. If it is clicked, then it will test whether the return string txt exists. If the string does not, if this file doesn't exist, then it will return. Return means to quit this script, not to execute. However, if this file does exist, then it will continue to open it for reading, and then it will read the content of the file, save it to the return string, then it will close it. And then it will echo back a text area. Text area is input output string box down here to display the return string. So let's run it and see how it works. So first you have to run the red client, and then you have to enter a command. Let's say I type dir, I click execute, and then it says receive dir, and on the red board I see the output here. The dir result is here. Now you will notice also inside the htdocs a new file has been created called redstring.txt, which contains the result of the execution. So now if I click on this one, get result string, it will show it down here. So get result string, when you click on it, it will be handled by this part here, and then it will open this file, redstring, this file, read the contents of it. You read the contents of the file, save it to this variable, and then you close the file, and then it will create the text area. This text area will create the text area in the user interface. So this is a HTML code. The opening tag is here and the closing tag is here. And we specify 20 rows. That means there are 20 rows, horizontal rows, and 60 columns, 60 vertical columns. You can change the size accordingly as to per your liking. And between this opening and closing tag, we will echo the red string that we read from here. That's why you are seeing this inside here. So this is a simple way to implement getting the result from the client. Let's try another command. Let's say who am I, execute, and then over here on the client, on the red board, you will see the result of the execution. And then if you click get return string, you will see this same thing here. So this is how we can implement the system to send the result of the execution back. So with that, we have successfully implemented this design. So that's all for this video. Thank you for watching.